So I'm gonna get started straight away.
It's embarrassing. It's a disgrace. That's what it is. A disgrace. It's embarrassing. It's a disgrace. That's what it is. A disgrace.
So let's get straight into it. You see the title of the video. Those of you who are gonna be here after this has gone live, I'd take losing if it means a new manager before the Champions League returns. And yes, I'm being serious. Now, I can't remember the last time. I don't think there's ever been a time I've wanted Arsenal to lose for something else to happen. Maybe during the worst times of the Wenger era, maybe. But otherwise, no. The Champions League comes back. I think for us, is it because I know for some clubs, I think it might be March or something, but I think it's still February for us. I think it's like towards the end. Let me just double check this. Let me just double check when the Champions League actually comes back for us. So the 21st of February is when we play Porto in the Champions League. So for the benefit of this football club and for the fact that we're realistically the Champions League is all we've got now, it is crucial, in my opinion, it is crucial we get rid of Arteta before then. It's crucial this club does the right thing. We've seen clubs do this before and then go on to win the Champions League. So our next game is Crystal Palace at home at 12:30 on the 20th. And then 10 days later, we have Nottingham Forest away from home at 7:30. And then on the 4th of February, we have Liverpool at the Emirates. And then on the 11th of February, we have West Ham away. And then on the 17th of February, we have Burnley away from home. Now, I know there's definitely bare minimum 2 losses in there, right? Bare minimum, the best we can come out of that is we only lose 2 of them games out of 5, right? But I'm at that stage now where if somebody said to me, you know what, Crystal Palace are going to slap Arsenal 3-0 at the Emirates, and then Forest are going to slap you 3-0 at Forest, and then that gets us Arteta sacked, and then we get Zidane in. Yep, I'll take that. I'll take that. Arteta does not deserve any money in this transfer window. It just is what it is. When you think about it, why should Arteta get any more money? Why should he? Does Arsenal need a striker or manager more? I'd say right now, I would say a manager because, and I'll explain why. Because when it comes to using certain players, right, I would back that a new manager isn't going to overplay Saka. I would back that a new manager would not take off your best player currently on the pitch when you're not even winning the game. I would back the next manager to know when to make subs. I would back the next manager to be a proper manager. If we go get a striker in this window with Arteta still being a manager, I don't think we'll move any further forward. When you look at what we've seen in these past few games, when you look at Arteta's decision making, when you think about it, Arteta does not deserve the money to even be given so we can get another striker. He doesn't deserve it. So if someone said to me, you can have Ivan Toney and you keep Arteta, or you can have nobody, but you'll get a new manager, I'll take the new manager right now. Because Arteta is going to keep doing the same thing. He's going to keep overplaying Saka all the time. He's going to keep overplaying him. And no matter how much of a stinker Saka performs, he'll keep him on. Nelson was the first to come off against Liverpool, right? Last night. He was the first to come off. Anytime anybody on the left, Martinelli, Trossard, Nelson, anytime they're having a decent game, they are the first to come off. And you know who never comes off? Saka. No matter if he's playing good, shit, whatever. If he Saka could play the best game of his life, and we could be 4-0 up, he'll keep him on for 90 minutes. And we're all begging, take him off to, because you don't need to pick up a potential injury now. We don't need him right now. Nope, you'll still keep him on. When he's having an absolute stinker, you'll still keep him on. That's what Arteta does. Arteta has shown he needs Saka. He needs him. Arteta has made many mistakes this season, undoubtedly. Kind of sad. He's made mistakes for the past few seasons now. I've wanted him out since 20. Well, I gave him one more chance in 2020. At the end of the 2021 season, I gave him one more chance. I said, right, this season, 2021-22, right, now go get top form and win a cup or something in the meantime, and he still couldn't do it. That's when it was like, no. I was at it out since then, really. What? It's at the end of the 2021, I was in the realm of if he goes, I don't care kind of thing. But it was the end of the 2022 season where I was like, definitely get him out. Now I'm at that stage where I would take losing if it means that he'll walk or get sacked. I will take losing. And that's a place, as a football fan in general, you don't want to be there. No football fan of whatever club you support, you do not want to be at that place where losing doesn't really hurt now because you know that you might get something good in the end. I don't want to see that. But I'm thinking we're in the Champions League. We're still in it. There's still time to get rid of the manager we've got and get somebody else in and try and win the Champions League. There's still time to do that. So, for me, Arteta, he doesn't deserve any more money. He chose to sign Kai Havertz in the summer. He chose not to get another centre back to rival Saliba and Gabriel and them. Right? He chose to opt for Kai Havertz over a player like James Maddison or someone. He chose that. He chose to terminate Pepe's contract and not have a right winger to rival Saka. He chose that. Notice how Reece Nelson, before when he played, he'd play on the right as well. Notice how whenever he's brought on, it's to rival the left-hand side. Let Arteta have his own way. Saka would be the only right winger at this club, and he'll have options on the left. This was a game Trossard should have started on the right or something like that. Well, last night's game, should I say. That was a game where Saka didn't need to start. If anything, beating Man City at the Emirates showed us we don't necessarily need to rely on Saka, do we? You see, I said before the game, if Saka could stand up, don't matter how he feels, Arteta would be like, all right, you're good enough to play. Arteta will do anything to keep Saka right wing. He will. Anything. Don't matter what. Let him have his own way, which he's already got. Saka is the only right winger we will have. And everybody else will have two strikers, if that, three left wingers. We'll have replacements for everywhere else, almost. But when it comes to that right wing, oh, no, nobody can do it better than Saka. I'm calling him the B-Tech Vinicius Jr. That's Saka's new name now, right? That's his new name. Martinelli, the Brazilian Saint Maximin. Jesus, Brazilian Welbeck. Nketiah, the English Nicholas Jackson. Reece Nelson, the English Garnacho. And Bukayo Saka, the B-Tech Vinicius Jr. That's who they are now. If Arsenal had Lewandowski at the top, he would have scored 3 goals yesterday, I'm convinced. If he'd have scored one, Arteta would have took him off. You know what I mean? I can't trust this guy now. Can't trust him. Cannot trust this guy. He'll keep doing it. So he doesn't deserve any money. He doesn't deserve nothing. What needs to happen is he needs to walk. He needs to do the right thing and walk. Because it's not happening. It's just not happening now. Let me just share my stream round. Let's share the stream. Because not many people will know I'm live. But he seriously needs to walk. And if it means losing, and applying that pressure on Arteta, so be it. So be it. Let Crystal Palace beat us on in 2 weeks' time or whenever it is. Let them beat us. You know what I mean? But you know what will happen now, don't you? We'll probably start winning now, won't we? Just as we want Arteta gone, Arsenal will probably start winning every game now, won't we? You know what I mean? Not that we'll win the league or anything. It's just that now you'd want the opposite to happen. It won't now. Because I'm at that stage where I don't care. Like, if I'm whenever I watch Arsenal next, I'm literally going to be looking at them like, well, if you score, you score. If you don't, you don't. At least if we lose, at least it's one step closer to Arteta thinking about doing the right thing. You know what I mean? And that is not the place to be. It is not the place you want to be. It's just not. But we'll have to deal with it that way for now. But I'd say get Zidane. Kiwior was weak in there. He ducked when balls were setting. Now he's scoring own goals. He was weak in there. Now he's worse. What is Arteta doing in training? Yeah, I haven't even watched the highlights back. Everything I saw, I've only seen once. But the own goal, I can't remember if he even jumped that high for the ball. But yeah, in all fairness, even though Kiwior, he did duck against Sporting last season as well. He's a centre back. We signed him as a centre back, and we're using him as a left back. This is that shit I don't like. I don't like shit like that. You know what I mean? It's not good for the player. Now, he's played left back before for his previous club, I think, and he actually has played as a DM as well. But centre back is his position. Arteta is going to do nothing but ruin players. You know what I mean? If Arteta is to sign a striker in this window, he'll sign a striker that can also play on the wing, and he'll ruin that player. That's what he'll do. He'll sign a player that can play on the wing, and he'll ruin him. Arteta plays people out of position all the time. Did it with Timber, got injured. Did it with Partey, worst injury he's had so far. He was doing it with, well, in all fairness, Ben White was originally a centre back, wasn't he? But he's shown that he's better as a right back. So that's one thing you can give Arteta. Tomiyasu, I think he was originally a right back. I don't know if he was a centre back originally, but he can play anywhere across the back anyway. Still gets injured though. Pep was the one that when he signed Zinchenko for Man City, he turned him into a goofy left back. We've then took that on, and Arteta will still go with that. Again, decision making. I'm telling you, Arteta, please do the right thing. Just leave. Just walk. Just say whatever you felt during the summer. Bring that back. Give us that. Let that thought come back into your head and walk before the Champions League comes back. Because if he's still here when the Champions League comes back, we've had it. We've had it. If Arteta's still here, by the time we play Porto, we've had it. So unless we go goals down against Porto in the first leg, and he gets sacked by the time we go to the Emirates fixture, so be it. Just as long as we're still in the Champions League, and we get a new manager in, while we're still in the Champions League. That's what I say. Don't give Arteta any money at all in this window. In fact, the fact that he turned around and said it's possible that Arsenal will make no signings in this window, that, if anything, gives me hope that maybe Arsenal are looking at him thinking, yeah, I don't think you're that guy. Like, we gave you money in the summer. You went and bought Havertz. We're not like last season. How can I trust to give you more money when you took us backwards? That's how I look at it. Tony doesn't even want to come to Arsenal, embarrass him. No, don't blame him. I know Brentford are wanting 100 million and everything like that, but in all fairness, I'm past caring now. After last night, I'm past caring. Their attack was shit. We know that. We know how shit their attack was. But Arteta's decision making, it's Arteta's decision making that's the main thing for me. Like he's showing. We can all see. People don't even need to watch football that much, but people can see. Actually, take him off, put him on. People can see that, but he can't. I don't want any manager at this club if that's how he's going to be. Don't want you here. So just leave. Or hopefully things don't go our way in the next couple of games and you'll get sacked. Not to mention Tierney refuses to return. And you know what? I do not blame Kieran Tierney for refusing to return. Don't blame him. Don't blame him. You can't just call man back now. After how he got binned in the summer. A man thought that you could really call him back. No, I don't blame Tierney. I was hopeful that we'd get some recruitments in, but seeing how Arteta did exactly what I knew he'd do, which is throw this competition away again, it's like, no, you don't deserve any money. You haven't earned your stripes, really, have you? You know what I mean? You haven't tried to win the EFL Cup like that, right? Since we lost the semi-final to Liverpool a couple of seasons ago, you didn't give a shit about it again. FA Cup, you didn't give a shit. And last season, you didn't give a shit about none of the competitions at all. And you're supposed to get money this time round so you can do something. Nah, man, fuck that. Me too, I've had enough. Only problem is, what manager do we get? Get Zidane. Get Zidane. As it says down there, Arteta out, Zidane in. Get Zidane. I mean, get anybody who's an actual manager, not somebody that was learning on a job. But I want a manager that's won the Champions League at this club. You know what I mean? I want a manager who's won the Champions League. I don't want no manager that's perceived to be good, but you've never won the Champions League. I don't want that. You know what I mean? I'd take Zidane over Simeone. Simeone hasn't won the Champions League. He's won league titles. I want one that's won the Champions League. This is Arsenal Football Club. This is Arsenal Football Club. The fuck are we doing not having a manager that has not won the Champions League for? You know what I mean? The whole point of a big club like Arsenal who's never won the Champions League, the whole point is you get a manager that's won it before. You know what I mean? But this club is not obsessed about winning the Champions League. This club does not give a shit about winning the Champions League. That's what it is. This club does not care about the Champions League, about winning it. They just care about being in it. And that was my problem last season. Hence why I hated the fact that we got Champions League, because I knew that if not winning the league means you still get Champions League, there'll be less desire to win the league. This is why I hated that we got it. You know what I mean? Because if it was a case of you needed to win the league, right, there'd have been more pressure on Arsenal to win it. Because it would have been like, we'll get Champions League. Zidane hates England. Money talks. You know what I mean? Money talks. England is too uncultured for Zidane. Even if it's a short-term thing, I would take that. If it's a short-term thing, I'd take that. If Zidane's like, right, you know what, I hate England, but I suppose I could stick out a couple of years in England, I'd take that. I'm sure he could win us something in that time. But I'd take something short-term right now. Because I'm sick of this. I'm sick of we've wasted. Look at all this wasted on Arteta. All the money spent since he won the FA Cup in 2020. You know what I mean? Wasted. Somebody else could have come in and done more from 2020 till now. They could have achieved more in that time, but we wasted it on Arteta. We are seen as barbarians with, of course, culture. Zidane would never come here. Well, do you really believe Raya is much better than Rambo? Seems like 50 million wasted to me. I said this in my last video, that the fact that it's still a conversation between who's better out of them two, if you look at the saves Ramsdale's made, would Raya do it? If you look at the saves Raya's done, would Ramsdale do it? I would say it is that money could have gone somewhere else. I don't think we really needed to switch keeper. We didn't need to. But Ramsdale, he was a big part in us bottling the league last season. But a striker was more a necessity. That money could have gone towards a striker than a goalkeeper. He didn't need to change goalkeeper like that. But you see, if Arteta had a brain, he'd have kept Martinez anyway. But there isn't that much between Raya and Ramsdale, in all fairness. There isn't that much between them. My concern with Raya is he's only 6 feet tall, which for me isn't tall enough for a goalkeeper. I just don't. I want goalkeepers at this club to be tall, have a presence. What presence does Raya have? When it comes to, you've got 6'4" centre backs of the opposition in the box wanting to attack a corner, what presence does Raya have? You know what I mean? What presence does he have? The last time we won the league, probably, 9 out of 11 of our players were over 6 feet tall. They were all tall, big, strong, and quick. It was a tall team. A tall team. Now we've got two bit of tall players, but the rest are just babies in comparison when it comes to any two bit of physicality. These men can't handle it. I think Arteta tried to get a midfielder and a striker in one with Havertz. He thought he could kill two birds with one stone. That's what he thought. He thought, well, Havertz, use the striker, but also a midfielder. He thought, I've got best of both here. But Havertz is useless. As I said yesterday, the goals that Havertz scored, apart from that header against Brentford, all required a tap. It didn't require him lashing at the ball. And then you look at his shots yesterday, the chances that he had, He practically passes the ball to the goalkeeper. You look at Havertz's passing; he rarely puts any pace behind his pass. The guy is a liability. Right, ain't good enough. Ain't good enough. I don't think he's the money could have gone elsewhere with the Raya business, but you know Ramsdale was he did play a big part in us bottling the league, and the same he was taking the same kind of form into this league, into the season. Sorry, but he'll make the odd save. He'll make some good saves here and there, but he'll also do stupidness. So I can see why he was dropped. I can see why Raya was brought in, or should I say, a new goalkeeper was brought in. I'm just not convinced that Raya is the answer to our prayers. I'm just not. But it is what it is now. He's going to be our number one keeper. Ramsdale will probably leave in the summer. But again, it's a decision making from Arteta. He got rid of Martinez. He got rid of Martinez, who's a better goalkeeper than what we have. Right? He got rid of Pepe, who would have rivaled Saka on the right hand side. He got rid of a goal scoring machine in Aubameyang. Right? And he's given that number 14 to fucking Eddie Nketiah. He got rid of Guendouzi. You know what I mean? And I thought there was something there with Guendouzi. I think Torreira or Torreira, whatever how you pronounce it, I don't think he was necessarily that happy in England. But you look at that, and it's like you got rid of Tina. I mean, how can I trust this guy? You know what I mean? Do you think Declan can play box to box? Yeah, I think he, I think he can. I think he can play that kind of role. I think with Declan with Rice is we need somebody like a Partey next to him so that his he can do what he really wants to do because he's been carrying our midfield because our midfield is shit. That's why he shines in every single game. You know what I mean, if Declan Rice plays box to box, then why do we even need Havertz? That's a question for Arteta. You know what I mean, Arteta was the one that thought, yeah, I'll get Havertz as our midfield. The money could have gone on getting Onana from Everton, have him play where Havertz plays or something, or Rice play there and Onana in the DM. Could have been like that. You know what I mean? But for me, the way it is right now, Rice kind of has to do everything. Nketiah, what a waste. An absolute waste. We we got rid of Balogun. Arteta got rid of Balogun so he can have Nketiah to start this club. And I'm supposed to trust Arteta's judgment. And people wonder why I want him out. Why, you know what I mean? This is why I will take losing games if it means Arteta will walk or get sacked. Because I can't take no more of this. I can't take no more of him and his and decisions being up to him to make them, knowing he ain't going to make the right ones. I can't do with this. Out of the FA Cup, the competition he won, right? He won the competition. First season in the FA Cup and he won it. This goes to show, doesn't it? I don't know if Arteta is the only problem. Why can Arsenal never sell players for huge money? Oh no, Arteta's not the only problem. He ain't the only problem. Got crack smoking Edu and then man, right? But he's the one that makes the decision on some of the signings and who plays and who doesn't play and his substitutions and everything like that. Because if you get a better manager in, right, or get a proven manager in that's won the Champions League and won the Premier League, right, he'll make decisions accordingly to when you're 93% of the time top of the league, he'll make the necessary decisions so you can go and win it. So that other 7%, you can clear it and you win the league. You know what I mean? But for me, put a competent manager and give him this sack of shite of players that we have could still do more than Arteta. But Arteta being Arteta, he's going to overplay Saka. Saka will see every single minute of the game, no matter what form he's in. The only time he gets subbed is if he's feeling discomfort, right? Martinelli could have a game of his life. Trossard could have the game of the life. Reece Nelson could have the game of his life. Gabriel Jesus could have the game of his life. Eddie Nketiah could have the game of the life. They will all get subbed before Saka ever gets subbed, providing Saka doesn't pick up an injury. And Arteta is going to suffer for that, and he'll look back when a next manager comes in and uses this team better than him. He'll look back and he'll question himself. But yes, the players are also the fucking problem. Because just like Unai Emery's season, when we got smoked in Emmanuel Azerbaijan, Baku, smoked in Europa League final, I didn't even blame Unai Emery for that. It was a sack of shite players, right, that bottled the European final. They were to blame. And Unai Emery proved that when he went and won it again, and won it with Villarreal this time, I think it was. So 5 finals, the only one he lost was with Arsenal. You know what I mean? And this is a Europa League proven manager, and he couldn't get these bunch of bottlers bottled Europa League final to a club who we always beat in FA Cup finals. That just goes to show you our luck in Europe as well. Because when do we ever get beat 4-1 in a cup final? You know what I mean? Not even Arsene Wenger lost 4-1 in a cup final. You know what I mean? Just can't do with this. Just can't do with this. But anyways, it is what it is. Get Arteta out, get Zidane in. Get Arteta out before the Champions League comes back, because Champions League's all we've got now. That's it. It's all we've got. You know what I mean? So it's crucial that we get this guy out. Anyways, I'm done with this video. Like the video, share the video, comment, subscribe to the channel, follow all the socials. The links are in the description below, guys. And I'll see you guys in the next one. Peace.